Well, hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. Today is question and answers Wednesday. So without further ado, we're just going to jump right on into these, okay? Let me call on J Free, Jayphree 123. Now you have a lot of different questions that went unanswered, and I do want to apologize for that. I did not see them, okay? But now that I have them, I'm going to answer you now, just in case I didn't backtrack and do it on YouTube. First question: how far in advance can you schedule a full day's work? For instance, if you live in a busy area, how do you ensure a steady stream of inspections for a specific day? When I schedule my inspections, in order to make sure I have a steady stream of inspections for a specific day, I normally will schedule for a week out. So if my inspection starts coming in this week, I will put them in starting for next week. And that way I can watch how many I'm putting in per day and decide for myself how many inspections I may want to do each day coming in the following week. And it works out pretty well that way, because the insureds, they don't want you to say, well, I'm coming tomorrow anyway. They want a few days ahead of time notice. Plus, I do commercials, and a lot of them, as most of you know, are running in and out of apartment buildings, so they need time to contact their tenants anyway. So that's how I normally do it. So I schedule out from this week for next week. The next question is, same one, Jay. Is it wise to purchase the measuring wheel and camera pole before applying for companies, or do they all not require it? Okay, so now I can tell you up front that they all pretty much require you to have it. Some of them, now I have signed up for some commercial companies that didn't even bother to ask me if I had it. And I'm assuming that they didn't ask because they figured I had it in the first place. But if you are signing up to do work as far as the homes especially, they will expect you to have the pole and the measuring wheel. Most of them will send you on some sort of test run anyway, and without it, you won't be able to do it. Even if you have figured out a way to work around it without having it while you're out in the field, for the most part, yeah, you will need to get you measuring wheel and a camera pole in order to get started working for these companies. Your camera pole, you will find that that thing comes in handy a lot while you're out here in the field. And you know, when you're not using it, use it for your own personal use. It doesn't matter, but when the time comes and you need it, you want to make sure you already have it and not be wishing you had it when you run up on a site and realize you don't have one, but you're in need of one. So yeah, I do recommend that you go ahead and get one. All right, so let's see here. The next one, I'm going to go ahead and get you out of the way, Jay. I ain't trying to rush you off. I just want you to know that I see you. Okay. Do most of your inspection orders come in via email, or do they call you for each one? Do you have to start picking up the phone all day now? Now, I know a lot of people don't want to hear that answer, but this is how it works, okay? When you receive orders, after you sign up for a contract, you will have all of your DocuSigns and all that stuff you have to do, right? After that's already done, you will have already been made aware of how to log in into the back office of that company. That is where your workload is going to come from. They are also going to send you your workload through your email. So you'll get some sort of email saying you have work. And if you go into your office setting in the back office, you'll see it sitting there in the system. They never call me. I've never had anyone call me to do any work unless they were trying to convince me to do work in an area where they know I didn't sign up for. And then I'd get calls for stuff like that, of course. Deidre, do you think that you could possibly do, we have a few of them, if you could go, and we'll pay you for, blah, you know how they do. Okay, so I have received calls, but for the most part, your orders will come in through the actual email itself. Do I have to start picking up the phone all day? Yeah, if I'm making appointments. And most of my work is appointments. So, yeah, I will be answering the phone. And trust me, it'll make you have to answer the phone even when you don't want to. Because a lot of people don't like messing with the phone. I used to work customer service jobs for so long until I had got to a point where I hated the telephone. This was way back in the day. I ain't gonna tell y'all the year. Okay, but it was way back in the day. And during the time when everybody had landlines, I took the landline out the house because I don't even want to hear my phone ring. Period. If you needed me, you need to knock on that door. If you don't know me personally like that, then that means you don't need to be calling me. You must want something I ain't got. Okay, all right. What my dad used to say all the time, you can't squeeze money out of a turnip root. I don't know where he got that from, but I knew what the concept of it was. And that's how I felt. Don't call me. If you know me personally, knock on the door. So I do understand if you do not want to be having to answer your phone all day long. But when you start making appointments, you never know when a person is going to call you back. That's why during the week, when I'm working, you always see my earpiece in my ear. Most of the time on the weekend, I have it in my ear all the time. Because sometimes they'll call you 6, 7 o'clock on a Saturday afternoon. Some people don't stop. And I know a lot of you are probably saying, oh, okay. They'll miss me. They ain't gonna miss me though. Because most of the time when they're calling, even if they call me on a Saturday afternoon, it's someone I've already called and tried to get in touch with, apparently for an inspection that I need to do at their location. And that means that if they're calling me back, 9 times out of 10, they are about to schedule their appointment. Okay, cha-ching. And I am answering the phone. And it is what it is on that. All right. So yes, most of the time you will be having to answer your phone. Okay. So let's move on to one a little bit more simpler. DA Herbal 777. Very simple. Where did you get your badge? Okay. My badges, because I've had several, and I was intending to pull them all out so you can see them, but I have, where's mine? Never mind. I have several badges from all of the different companies that I've signed up for over the years, okay? And these companies, they send you your badges. You see, when you sign up for a contract company, they're going to ask you to send them a picture so that they can create you a badge. And your badge will come in the mail. And that's how you get your badge. And as far as the lantern, I went, of course, on Amazon and ordered different types of lanterns that I wanted to use. And I have all of my badges sitting off in different lanterns now inside of my backpack. But that's how you'll get your badges, through the actual company themselves, because they want to be branded. So the name of the company is going to be on the ID badge along with your name. Okay. Next one, Marshigem, MARSHAGEM. How long does it take to complete the reports? Now that is a wide and, I want to say, open-ended question, because it pretty much depends on the report itself. See, all of the reports are not the same. They are not the same. And it's based off of not the company that you work for. No, not that at all. It is normally based off of the carrier themselves. So you can work for one particular company as a contractor. So you're contracted through them. And they could have several carriers that are contracted with them to get work done for them. So you may have a few stacks of sheets for you to go take care of different inspections. And these inspections may be from one carrier that may not have but 3 or 4 sheets of paper. And that's it. And then you may have another carrier that has so many questions, and they may have 13, 14 pages. It all depends on the carrier that you are inspecting for at that time. So you can go out today and do 6 or 7 inspections, right? And out of those 6 and 7 inspections, you may have 2 or 3 quick ones, but all of the rest of them may be files that are 14, 15 pages long. And it depends on you at that point. How well have you learned your job? Have you come up with a way strategically to be able to get paperwork done in the system without having to spend more than at least 20 minutes on a 14-page form? So it all depends on you as to how long and how quick it's going to take you to get your forms done in the system. I hope that helped you as well. Robbie JO-B2J. I had you last week. Okay. I don't understand the video. It says insurance inspector. Is that the correct one? The personal or commercial? It's confusing, but I'm interested in becoming a notary too. Do I need both? I'm in Texas. Okay, so I'm pretty sure you might have found the answer to that, and I'm pretty sure I did respond. Questions that I throw out on the Wednesday's question and answer is only mainly because there are people who are watching who may be curious about those answers as well. All right, so let me go ahead and answer that. It says insurance inspector. Is that the correct one? Yes, it is, because we inspect for insurance. That's what we do. We are insurance inspectors. Okay. Personal or commercial, as far as the one that you want to do, you can choose whichever one you want to do when it comes to getting your certification. I just did the simple personal one because it was the quickest, it was the cheapest, and so I can go ahead and get it out of the way, because I had ran across a couple of companies that, threw me for a loop when they asked and said that it was required that you have certification in order to work with them. Okay, so I went on ahead and got my certification, so that way I don't have to bounce around that question or be worried about it in the future. Okay, so it's completely up to you which one you want to get. You're interested in doing that, and you interested in becoming a notary too, and now that's good to become a notary, because in order to do loan signing, you need to be a notary. Okay, use that stepping stone, step from one level to the next. Okay, as far as if you need it in Texas, I have no idea what is required of you state for state. That I don't know, because I have mentored some people who have told me that in their state, just to even get started on loan signing or even field inspection, they have to go through a whole lot of different stuff that I didn't even know existed. So yeah, your girl don't know everything about every state, so I'm sorry I couldn't be of more help with that one. But yeah, we are inspectors for insurance. KNRB7137. How do we access the list of companies? I looked on your website and I don't see it. Okay, so here go the list. All right, and it's the name of the website right here, okay? And I am going to put a link in just this video at the bottom. And I'm also tagging the actual item onto the video. So if you look down below the video, before you get to the description, you should see the list there. Click it and you'll be able to go directly in and purchase the list itself. But in the meantime, you guys know what to do. Like, subscribe, turn on the notification bell. I'll be bringing you back something later. Thank you guys so much for watching. Enjoy the rest of your day.